Hello viewers, you are welcome to your show, my show, our show, the Digging Deep Show. We are digging deeper today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the program. If you haven't yet called a friend to remind them that the Digging Deep Show is on, please do so. I'm telling you, somebody will benefit today. We've got a very beautiful lady in the house today, Hazel, in the network marketing industry for the past 9 years. Some of you know it to be the 21st century business, and Hazel will dig deeper into it today. You're welcome, Hazel, to the show.
Priscilla, thank you so much for inviting me onto the show today. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And of course, it was a couple of years ago, I think, that we met at the National Achievers Conference.
It was a long time ago, but I'm glad to have you on the show today. And our viewers are really looking forward to the information that you're going to pass to them. Can you tell us exactly what network marketing is?
Yes, it will be a pleasure. Network marketing is a different way for a company to get their products out into the marketplace. When I joined this company, I was a secretary, so I didn't know anything about traditional marketing or how products were sold. Now I've come to understand that it works through a series of individual people. So instead of taking the products into shops, you have a network of people, and the marketing part of network marketing means that it's their way of marketing the products. So the individuals will find a few customers for the company, and in that way the company will reach a lot of people because they have a lot of people working with them.
So in that case, do you still use the social networks, or you normally rely on the word of mouth?
There's many ways that you can do this now, and it's brilliant that you pointed out social networks, because of course that's such a good way of talking to people these days. We have a nice description for it. We call it conversational marketing. Really just
conversational marketing.
Yeah, it just means talking to people as appropriate about the products, and you can do that through social media, you can do it through personal contact.
Okay, so Hazel, I would just love you to explain this more clearer. There might be somebody out there, they do not know what network marketing is, they do not know how it works. How can you say it works for the company?
Traditionally, if a company wants to sell their products, they would have to find a way to get it to the customer, and usually they do that. Let's say a product or a service is usually sold through shops or premises, and then the customer will go into that shop to purchase the product. That's obviously very costly because they have to have a lot of buildings, they have to have staff to run the buildings. With network marketing, there are no premises, there are no shops. They don't need employees, they don't need staff. And even more importantly, they don't need advertising, which of course is a hugely expensive business for people, for companies to get their product known. It's the people who do the marketing for them. They talk about the products, they do the advertising for them. They find the customers.
For them, yeah.
Yes. So from the company's point of view, they have now released a lot of money that usually would go to what we might call the middlemen. Typically that can be about 68%. That means that money is released and able to be paid out to the individuals who work alongside the company. They're not working for the company, they're not employees, they're self-employed. But it means that they can be paid very well for what they do.
So in a sense, are you saying that a company can still grow without advertising?
They can grow much better without advertising, and the reason is because today, you know, we're absolutely bombarded, aren't we, with adverts. You know, you wake up in the morning, it's on the radio, the TV, it's on the billboards when you drive to work. We've learned how to switch off. We no longer take very much notice of advertising. But when you've got a friend who says to you, you know, I found this really nice shop, restaurant product, I really enjoyed it, you're much more likely to take notice. So word of mouth referral is becoming the best way to market your product. That's one of the reasons we call it the business of the 21st century, because it's growing so fast. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world.
I could say, because if you've been in this industry for 9 years, how many years ago would we say that this started?
It started actually a lot of years ago, or before the 1990s, way before then in fact. It's grown up a lot though. You know, as an industry when it first started, it was very different, and it certainly wasn't always ethical. But since those times, we now have regulatory bodies who take care of us, particularly in the UK. We have the Direct Selling Association, who regulate the companies so that they're very, very ethical. In fact, I would say the network marketing industry has to be the nicest way of working, because the only way that anyone can make any money is by being willing to help someone else make money. You know, so it comes from contribution.
Wow, that's well said, and I can say you're really passionate about this industry. To have been in that industry for so many years, it is an area of your passion. So would we say that products will be cheaper this way? Because you've mentioned that not necessarily you don't need shops, you don't need companies. So would we say that products get cheaper when it's done that way?
I think the most wonderful thing about a network marketing company that's been around for a long time, so their products have stood the test of time, is the products have to be absolutely the best quality. Because if it's going to come from referral, the person who's referring it has to be very passionate about the product, and obviously if they're going to offer it to somebody that they know, they need to be very confident that it's a good product. If the product wasn't any good, nobody would be referring it on, the company wouldn't last very long. So you can be sure, if you've picked a company that has been around a long time, that their products are going to be very, very high quality. And also it does mean that they can put a lot of research into producing a really good quality product, because so much of that money is available to do so.
So in a sense, are you saying that if your product is not good enough, it's basically not the right way to go?
If you have a product that isn't any good, your company will not last very long, because people will be upset with the product, they won't recommend it, the company can't grow that way.
Hazel, if you can tell us the benefits for the individual, why would someone get involved in network marketing?
The benefits are, there's many, many benefits. Firstly, it's an opportunity to do something for yourself. You know, a lot of people, they go out to work, they work 9 to 5 or maybe even longer hours for somebody else, and it will give you an income, but that allows you to exist, and it can be very difficult to get ahead. With this, you can build up an income that will really, really give you financial security for the future. So you will earn according to your effort. So it's very, very fair. The other thing I completely love about this is the fact that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your education, the colour of your skin, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter your religion. Everyone has the same opportunity to achieve. So it means that you can work for yourself, you can work very flexibly. So for young families, it's absolutely perfect, because, you know, they can work around the little children.
Like you said, you can work from home.
Exactly. You can get rid of that long commute to work, which we all hate, don't we? And it gives everybody just a wonderful opportunity to add to their income or replace an income if there's redundancy in the family.
Yeah, and what I was going to ask is, some people go to these 9 to 5 jobs because they want job security, but how secure is it if you are into the network marketing industry?
Well, in many ways, I have to say it's got to be more secure, because nobody can make you redundant. I mean, again, I have to refer back to, you need to make sure that if you're going to build your business, you build it with a company that is a really safe, solid company. So you want a company that doesn't have debt, you want a company that's been around a long time, and you want a company that's international, that's got offices around the world. So that gives you a lot of security. So from that point of view, your income is very secure. But it is up to you to put the work in.
So it's what you put into it that determines what you get out of it. Okay, and what kind of investment is required to start a network marketing business?
Well, I think that's the most exciting thing, really. If you just think about starting a business for yourself, a traditional business, you know, whether it's something like a window cleaning business or a much, much bigger one, there is always money that you have to pay out in order to get started. With this, the cost is really, really low. Typically, if you start your business here in the UK, you will not pay more than £200 to get your business off the ground. You can pay less than that as well. But I think when somebody says, look, you can start a business of your own, that could give you a massive income. A lot of people earn a 6-figure income doing this. and you can start for as little as £200.
Okay.
Quite often people don't believe us.
£200.
To start a business, it's nothing.
It is.
The other thing I need to add to that is you've got to also remember that you don't have to create anything. You don't have to create websites, you don't have to produce anything, marketing tools, because the company that you're working with
provides all of that for you. Okay. So in other words, if you just get the starting fee, then you're good to go.
Generally, companies ask you to start with some products because it is a business from the heart. So if you're going to start your business, you need to know that you like the products. I would say find products that you resonate with, products that you feel you would be happy to use yourself and share with others.
Are you saying for the past 9 years you haven't been into formal employment, but you've managed to sustain yourself with the network marketing industry?
Most definitely. Anybody can earn whatever income they choose. Again, I will stress, if they're willing to put the effort in, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It does make people rich. In fact, the network marketing industry creates more millionaires than any other business in the world.
Wow.
But those people who've created those incomes, they have worked really hard for
Of course, yeah. You can't just wake up a millionaire. You have to
Sadly,
make sure you do put a lot. And I was going to ask you to give us some examples of people who have achieved success in this industry.
Well, the first one that I really would love to... A young man called Sebastio, and he actually was in war-torn Angola. And it's an amazing story because Sebastio actually risked his life to leave the country, and he had to leave behind his family, his wife and children, in order, and he smuggled himself out of the country underneath the truck, and he got to South Africa. And when he was in South Africa, you can imagine he had nothing. And he found employment, and he was invited then to look at Forever Living as a business. And so he started his business with nothing. And eventually he was able to get his wife and children out of South Africa, of Angola at great risk, of course. And together they built their business in South Africa, and they were so passionate about it that his wife risked her life to take the business back into Angola. When they started, they were living in 2 rooms, and they actually had to move into 1 room and rent out the 2nd room so that they could make enough money to get started with the products. That was their belief in the products and the company, and of course they absolutely turned not just their life around, but the life of all the people that they touched with the business.
Wow.
There are many, many, many people who excel in this industry, and they don't all have to be people who've come from amazing backgrounds. I'm thinking just right now of somebody that I've known who's been working in my company for about probably the past 8 years. And she started out stacking shelves in the supermarket, and she did that because she wanted a part-time income, or rather she wanted more than a part-time income, but she wanted a part-time job because she had young children and she needed to work in the evenings when her husband came home from work. And she now earns a massive income with this company. That means that their life has transformed beyond recognition.
Wow, so does she still stack the shelves?
Absolutely not. No, she still goes back there from time to time and meets the people who are still stacking the shelves, but no, she leads a life that is totally different.
Well, in other words, this could be a life-changing moment.
It's a totally life-changing moment, actually, for many, many people. And you know, if you're keen on education for your children, for example, and you don't know how that you could afford to pay for that, this is the way to do it. If you're not happy with the job that you have now, this is the way to change that. If you want your circumstances to be different, you need to do something different in order to change that. Look at a different way of earning an income, because a job will pay the bills. But it probably won't do much more than that. It doesn't take
you past that, You're just over, you're broke. And I like what one speaker, how he put it. He says, if you don't like where you are, move, because you're not a tree. So if you don't like the job that you're doing, you have to move. You have to consider joining the network marketing industry like Hazel here. And who knows, that could be your turning point for your miracle. But Hazel, my question is, if it's so good, why aren't many people doing it?
That's a really interesting question, Priscilla, and I think the honest answer is a lot of people just don't know about it.
Ignorance.
They don't know that it exists, or some people have maybe seen a small part of it and not understood the whole concept. And I think quite often if we're unsure about something, then we're not willing to jump right in. If we feel a little bit afraid of something, But I think if you find a company that you know has been around a long time, that has a good track record, for example, the company I work with, they have the Investors in People Award given to them by the government, and you will get so much support and help to understand why the business can work for you and what you need to do. And you know, it's a really simple business.
Yeah.
You know, it's so easy to do, but sometimes we like to make it complicated.
And Hazel, I was going to say, tell us what company you work for, you know, because it really sounds so interesting how you do it. And how do you go about it, you know, just to make sure it's so clear out to our viewers?
Thank you. Yes, I will do. And I'm very happy to tell you that the company I work with is called Forever Living Products. They are an absolutely amazing company. Their ethics are incredible. They're so good, so kind. They've been around they've been around over 37 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
And the way the marketing model works, as I mentioned at the beginning, you start with a few people, and a few people tell a few. It's like throwing a little pebble into a pond, so the ripples spread. So the Forever Living Products started in America. They're now in over 150 countries around the world. So you can have a business in any one of these countries. They're cash rich and debt free. They don't owe anybody any money. And what they do is they pay people very, very well for marketing the products and the business. So you want to know a little bit about how
yes, how you do it, like on a day-to-day basis. How is your day structured when you're in that kind of industry?
Absolutely. Well, first thing is, of course, we have lovely products. I wouldn't have been with them for 9 years if the products weren't amazing. They're fantastic for people's health. So we're in the natural health and well-being sector, which of course is absolutely booming. So we all look after a few customers. We find a few people who would like to try our products. That's what we do. And then as well as that, we invite other people to take a look at the business side if it's appropriate for them. And some people will think, do you know, I'd like to do this too. I can see that I can make a really good income working very part-time. So as well as a few customers, we've now started to get together a team.
Okay.
And then we're going to work with that team and help them do exactly the same thing. And we all work together. So it is called network marketing, but some people like to call it team marketing, because the acronym together, everyone achieves more. So we all support and work with each other. We all look after a few customers, and we find a few people who'd like to do the same, and they find a few people who find a few people.
So
and
you can spread wings as far as
grows as big as you want it to.
So obviously you'd benefit from the number of people that you bring into the team.
Well, it's not just you, remember, bringing in the people. You just bring in a few. You're going to help those few find a few. So let's say, for example, let's say you find 10 customers. So you've now got 10 people buying the products. You're making a little income and the company's happy they're selling some products. But that's not going to give you a really exciting income, is it? So if you can now find 10 people who also will find 10 customers, there's now over 100 customers all spending money in that group. Now the company is going to reward you in the way of like a commission on the customer activity in that group. If that group keeps growing by 10, by 10, by 10...
I get it. And I hope our viewers do get that as well. In the Bible it says, seek and you shall find. So finding is reserved for those who seek. So Hazel is taking us through the finding process. So it's all about finding customers, finding team members in order to grow your network marketing business. Hazel, you've told us about how good it is. Presumably there's some downsides too. Can you tell us, please?
Yes, I can. Well, the first catch is you do have to work. You know,
like any job anyway. Yeah,
you have to put in the time and effort. And I think also when you're working with people, this can be quite an emotional business because, you know, with people you get the highs and you get the lows, and you have to be quite resilient because you're going to invite a lot of people to look at the business who will say no to you. You know, it's inevitable. This can't be for everybody. And sometimes people find it quite hard to deal with that, you know, with people saying, no, this isn't for me. But I think what is really exciting about this is you do learn skills that you didn't know you had. We do it. Every company will give you fantastic training and support. And you know, I'm not the same person. When I started this business, I was quite a shy secretary. You know,
Not anymore.
No, definitely not anymore. It gives you wonderful confidence, and it just gives you that, you know, because you work with so many different people, you really get how we're all the same.
Yes,
you know,
isn't it? Yeah.
we're all the same, and it's just an absolute joy. But you do have to learn those skills. You do have to get over those hurdles.
But apart from the skills that one has to learn, what actual skills are required for the business?
Very few. You need to be willing to learn. You need to have an open-minded attitude and be willing to learn and to grow. You have to be willing to, you know, be friendly and confident with people and sort of be, you know, be nice to people and be helpful with them. But in truth, I didn't start out that way. I'm a very independent lady. I've been on my own a lot of years, you know, so I didn't start out as a good networking person. I was used to being on my own, so that was a skill that I learned to acquire.
But in terms of education and qualifications?
No education needed. I was a great guy in our company. He tells a wonderful story. He started life in a factory. He had very little education. In fact, I think he left the education system quite early on, mutual agreement. And he worked on a factory assembly line, and that's what he did. And he thought he would be doing that for all of his life. He was invited to join Forever Living, and he's built a phenomenal business working with them, and leads a wonderful life. And he's still a really, really, really lovely guy. Yeah,
so from what you've said so far, I can tell that this business is growing. Like from year to year, time to time, the business is growing. And who would you recommend to get into such an industry? Anyone in particular that you'd say, if you're this type of person, you would do or you would excel better in this industry?
The kind of person who does really well in this industry is somebody who has a vision for a better life. It just is somebody who's willing to say, I want fulfillment in my life. I don't just want to earn money, because you know we can all start out in any job. You know, the money is important, of course it is. We all need money to live, but money isn't what gives us the fulfillment. You've got to be somebody who sees the bigger picture, and you think, if I could just make a difference to somebody else, if I could just help somebody else to grow, then that's the kind of person who will do well in this industry.
Oh, thank you, Hazel. It goes deeper than just getting the money, but the passion as well, and the need or the ability to want to help others does contribute to that. So for the listeners today, if they decide, obviously, that they would like to get involved in the network marketing industry, like you've already taken us through what it is, so how can they choose a good company?
Choose a company, if you're going to pick a company in the UK, choose one that's part of the Direct Selling Association. If you can choose a company that also has the Investors in People award, then you will know that you're going to get really good training and support. Choose a company where you resonate with the products. Forever Living's products, for example, they're natural health products. There is something for everyone. And what's really important is that they are consumable. You don't want to be spending all your time having to find new customers. So if you choose a company where the products are consumable, then you can look after just a few customers and know they're going to keep coming back to you for more products. You also get a product where you feel you're making a difference. So with health, you know you're making a difference to somebody if they have a health challenge and you think you've got something that can help with that. Forever Living are the world's leading growers of aloe vera.
Wow! Tell us about that.
Yeah, the aloe vera is amazing. It's because it just really, really helps people to stay healthy, and as probably most of our listeners know, it's been used for thousands of years, so it's not on test. You know, we know it's good.
Oh yeah, and nowadays aloe vera drinks, lotion.
Exactly, it's easy to talk about. Your customers want to be healthy, they want a natural product. So choose a company where you can resonate with the products and you're happy to go out there and talk about it. Choose a company that is cash rich and debt free, because you want a company that's going to be there in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
In closing, Hazel, I want you to give your information to the viewers. Somebody might want to know how they can contact you.
I would absolutely love to work with you, of course I would. There's no limit to how many people we can work with. You're welcome to send a message to my mobile phone or call me on 07931 183549.
Thank you so much, Hazel, for
Thank
being
you.
with us on the Digging Deep Show. And to you, all our sponsors and viewers, the Digging Deep Show will not get this deeper without your assistance and your support. From me and the rest of the crew, we say this is it for today. Till we meet again next week, God bless you. Have a bright week ahead. Goodbye for now.